5 more things that you should already know in Dota 2, except in this video we have 6. Now, also, the whole video has been given to me nice and easily, I appreciate it very much, by The Unforgiven. Your name is right there on screen, your comment is right there on screen. Holy crap, you commented 6 things that are absolutely great for this series. So, thank you very much to you, and if anyone else wants to do this, then feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will do the exact same, give you a shout out too. Thank you very much. By the way, guys, this channel just passed 1,000 subscribers very recently, and you guys are really loving the content, and I'm posting consistently, so if you enjoy the video, please do subscribe to the channel. But other than that, let's stop wasting your time and let's see if you knew these things that you should already know, but maybe you didn't. Okay, so for number 1, did you know that there are many stuns in the game, like Lion, Nyx, and Sand King, that do more or less the same thing? Obviously, Sand King's slightly different as it sends them to the same direction, but they are spike, target, ground stuns, and Nyx and Lions are actually probably the closest together. Now, this person pointed out very actually, well, I had no idea this was a thing, that all of these stuns, except for one, are blocked by Lincoln Sphere. So we have a Magnus here that has a Lincoln Sphere over here, and this is set to 3 spells so that they will always be blocked. So we're going to take the Lion, I'm going to target Magnus, and we're going to see if it gets blocked by the Lincoln Sphere. Now, as you can see, Lions is blocked by Lincoln Sphere. That's targeting Magnus, and even using it on the ground, as some people will probably ask, still also gets blocked by the Lincoln Sphere. Next up, we have the Sand King, and we use this, also blocked by going all the way through and by targeting the Magnus as well. But Nyx Assassins, which is more or less identical to the Lions, doesn't get blocked by the Lincoln Sphere. It just doesn't. Look at this. I have no idea why. If you target the ground, it doesn't. If you target Magnus specifically, it doesn't. In fact, can you even target units with this? I don't think you can. Oh, you can. Okay. Maybe this is why, because there's no target on it whatsoever. But there you go. That is definitely interesting to me. I'm assuming it is because this has no actual player target, whereas Lions and Sand Kings does. Even though if you target it on the ground, it still is blocked. But Nyx Assassins isn't. Well, this is good to know though, because I would have assumed it was as well, because I've played these 2 heroes, I've not played much Nyx whatsoever. So if the enemy has a Lincolns, you can still stun them and not worry about it. Thank you for this tip, this is freaking epic. Okay, so the next comment said that Axe can actually kill himself when using Culling Blade on a Lotus Orb. Now, I think this is the same thing for any damage that someone with a Lotus Orb would have. Like if you deal damage to someone's Lotus Orb and you are low, then you are going to kill yourself, and I think this happens to anybody anyway. So I was a little bit confused about this one, but testing this out and trying to figure out what they meant, I did learn something new that I actually was like, holy crap, this could actually be good in some situations, maybe, but maybe people didn't know about it anyway. And that is that actually Blade Mail and Lotus Orb do stack. So first things first, I tested to see what he meant. I thought maybe what he meant is if you actually kill a target, then it deals more damage to Axe. Like if you kill the target instead, it'll kill Axe instead of the actual target. So we're going to lower down the Magnus to below the threshold. Then we're going to use the Lotus Orb here to be able to test this, and we use Culling Blade, and you notice that it does still damage Axe, but it doesn't kill him instead, so the Magnus still dies. So that wasn't what he meant. So what I'm going to go through now is just talk about something that I found while testing this. You can actually stack Blade Mail and Lotus Orb together, and you will deal damage for both of the things. And this could be quite a surprise, seeing as if you take a look, use a Blade Mail, use a Lotus Orb, it's quite hard to see the Blade Mail once that Lotus Orb is up. It's pretty difficult to see. Like in a fight, you might not notice that. You really might not. So you can stack these, and I'm going to show you exactly how that looks. For example, we're going to use the Axe Culling Blade thing as well. So we're on 2.6k health right now. We've got 3 spells on. I'm going to use just the Lotus Orb, and I'm going to Culling Blade the Lotus Orb. So you're going to see that my health goes down to 2.15k, and then if I use the Blade Mail and the Lotus Orb at the same time, you're going to see that I use this, and I'm going to go down to 1.7k health instead. So you actually take damage from both of them. This could be huge. Like, imagine, look at that damage like return is absolutely crazy. So with Nyx, if we use the Lotus Orb and the Blade Mail and then use Mana Burn, you can see it does a hell of a lot of damage. Like that's a good chunk of damage returned back. This is interesting. Did you guys know you could stack both of these? I didn't. Maybe this is an interesting item build to put together on some heroes. So here is another one that I had no idea about, and I think is pretty damn interesting. That Slark's Pounce, normally if you cast it on a target, it does stop any of their escape abilities as well for the duration. So for example, we have the Ricky with the blink. It can blink to the axe here, it can blink to Rubik, it can blink around to anybody like this. Now this would be the same for like Phantom Assassin or Emma Spirit with a Sly Fist or his Remnants, all this sort of stuff. Now when Slark pounces on Ricky here, you can't actually blink. As you say, it's not castable while leashed, and this is just how it is. You can't do it. It just stops it. The leash does stop that. However, this person pointed out very well, and I had no idea about this personally either, that one, a Force Staff actually just breaks the leash altogether. You can just use it and you are good to go. I am absolutely freaking sure this didn't used to always be like this. I could be wrong. I have memories of it not working though, but hey, it works now. That is freaking crazy. Then also we have a Rubik over here. Now the reason that is, if you have the shard with the telekinesis on Rubik, you can actually break the leash for your allies immediately. So you can pounce on the Ricky and then immediately to telekinesis and it's gone. That's it, it's done. You can save people from Slark very, very easily. This is crazy, and I had no idea about this. The one that blows me away the most is absolutely the Force Staff. You can counter Slark with the Force Staff. Is that what you're telling me? You can just... He can't really do anything if he pounces on you and you just Force Staff. This seems a little bit too good to be true. I don't know. This is crazy to me, and I am always going to buy a Force Staff against a Slark from now on. So thank you very much for this tip, because this is freaking badass. The next part, we are going to be taking a look at Grimstroke. Now, what Grimstroke's ult does is it actually binds people together, and part of it is that it stops them from being able to move away from each other. They are stuck, you can't move away, and if I also test this with items like a Force Staff, you're going to see that this leash cannot be broken with a Force Staff. So we're going to grab this Venge, we're going to use a Force Staff, and we can't go any further than that actual radius until the leash is done. And it's a long duration, it's really good. Now, this can be useful, but it also can be broken by certain things. If you use the Grimstroke ult and connect two heroes together, you can actually use Pudge Hook to completely break it. It is done. This person's still leashed, and if they do return back in the range, they will actually relink. So for example, if I link these together, use Push to hook the Rubik, and then immediately walk the Rubik back into range, they're going to re-leash together, and it's going to just continue on just like that. Now, I also believe that if you re-link this person together, hook the Rubik, and then walk the Venge in, it is also going to spread to the Venge. So if this isn't a team fight, you can unhook somebody, but you can add it to somebody else, if that makes sense. So you can have one linked, hook this one, and then if anyone else gets close, you've then like doomed someone else instead. Then the reason we are using Vengeful Spirit though is because you can actually swap with the other target and break it, but also put yourself in that situation. So if you're a support Venge and your carry, say Rubik was your mid or something, or your carry, for some whatever reason, let's just pretend, and you wanted to save that hero, you can swap with them, and you will be leashed, but they will be free. So it's actually kind of worth it, and it is something to consider, but you can swap them and you will be replaced. So it is worth keeping in mind, and you can also do the same going out. You can swap with someone like Pudge or whatever, and you will get out, but the person you swap with will also be linked. So if you're a support Venge, maybe this is a bad idea, swap in, but maybe don't swap out, because if you swap out, then your team may not be too happy. But if you're a carry Venge and you get altered by Grimstroke, well then, get yourself out of there. You might as well. There's no reason not to. Next up, we're going to be messing around with Disruptor and Here's a Glimpse. Now, the comments said that the actual Yule Scepter does not stop the Glimpse from Disruptor. This is absolutely true. If you're going to walk over here, cast a Glimpse on the Pudge, and then if I Yules just before I get there, I will still be taken out of the Yules and brought to the Glimpse location. So it still works. It doesn't remove it. And if I do it any sooner as well, if you guys are wondering, it's because you did it too late, we do this, we Yule straight away, and it's still going to take us over and actually glimpse us back. But you can see in my inventory I have a couple of other items. Now, the first one we're going to look at is the Lotus Orb. The Lotus Orb also doesn't stop the glimpse, because you can use a Thunderstrike, and what the Lotus Orb does is it's actually a dispel. So if you use the Thunderstrike on Pudge, you can use the Lotus Orb and it's going to remove it immediately. Now, if you cast this before the glimpse, of course that's going to obviously cast that on Disruptor instead of you. However, if you walk over here and then you cast the glimpse, and you use a Lotus Orb, it will not dispel that. You will still actually get sent back. But a Manta Style, on the other hand, is an item that can stop the glimpse from sending you back. It is very hard to do, but if you use the Manta Style at the very last second, which is kind of Easier to time because there's an animation for it, but very difficult to do anyway. You can actually block that. So I'm going to try and do it, show you guys. If I walk over here, use the glimpse on Pudge, and then we wait for the glimpse icon to go all the way back, and then we use the Manta style, then we screwed it up. But you want to time it right towards the end, and as you can see, if I do it now, and then try again, I am not very fast at this, as you can tell. So I did this before. It was, so there you go, we've done it. We've done it on the third try. It's hard to do. Now, I could just do it with the free spells and just spam the crap out of it, and I'd probably be up even then. That's how hard it is to time. You have to do it on tick. You have to do it pretty perfectly. Pros have pulled this off in games, which is how I knew this was a thing. But overall, this is super hard to do. Super, super hard to do. But there you go. Finally, we are going to be talking about one that's going to be nice and quick to do, and that is that Lincoln Sphere, which we have on Pudge here, does not stop the Omni Slash from Juggernaut. It will stop the first hit, but the rest of it will carry on, as you can see. So you'll see the Lincoln's trigger, and then the rest of it will go through, just as you can see, and it's not blocked by it whatsoever. Now, we had free spells on here, so it doesn't reprog or anything. If you had a refresher, you can't get a second thing out of it, because it was already still on cooldown. So as you can see, I'll ult. Lincoln's never got the cooldown, but the rest of the attacks still go through, just like regular hits. However, I do believe if you use a Lotus Orb, and then you do it, something weird happens, and you both just dance around, and nothing really happens to anybody. So that's a weird interaction. As you can see, it's just you just become immune. Neither of you can move anywhere, but you just fly around all over the place randomly. So you can deal with a jug with a Lotus Orb, but you're also kind of taken out of the playing field yourself as well. But that's where we're going to end it for this video. Anyway, guys, that brings us to the end of another one of the 5, but in this one, actually, 6 things that you should already know about Dota 2, but maybe you didn't. So I actually learned quite a lot in this one, and I just want to say again, thank you so much for the comment. I really do appreciate it. It makes my life a lot easier thinking of these things, which there's so many things like this in this game that I can still go through and make these. And while I am just messing around shackling axe, as we tend to do around here at the end of videos, thank you so much. If anyone else can think of any of these and you would like to maybe have your comment for the next video, then feel free to share either 1 or even 5 or 6 or whatever in the comments down below, and I will use your comment just like I did with this one as well. But thank you once again. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Anyone who has enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to the channel. Like I said, it's a pretty new channel, growing pretty quickly, so I appreciate all the new subscriptions as well. Axe, frick you, and otherwise, guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.